an 8-period day using the calendar import tool. At the moment, it's set up for 5 or 7 periods. So and the first step is going to be to add your periods at the bottom of the screen here. So if you only have, let's say, 5 days and 8 periods, then you're just going to want to renumber your boxes. So we're going to look for here we're going to want to get to 1.7, and then we're going to want to go to 1.8, and then 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, and so on. And you're going to want to go down the entire column, and you're going to want to rename this. You're also going to want to change your class information here. So day 1, period 8. So you're going to need to go down and you're going to need to update all of this. And then we're going to base this on the 7-period day sheet, because that requires the least amount of changes. So in our 7-period day sheet, we've got 7 rows which have a start date, so when our cycle is going to start. So what we have to do here is we need to insert two additional rows into the one additional row into the sheet. So we're going to add in Sunday, and this is based on what I set up. So 9th the 1st, 2013, 9/1/2013, and this is day 0, this is period 7, and this is period 8. So what we're looking for is we're looking for this to continue to update. So what this does is it looks up here. We can see that it's looking up our weekday from C10. So it's looking for what day of the week this is, and then it's looking in table and column 2 to give us our actual weekday. So our cycle day is pulled up here, and our period is pulled up here. So this is equal to F2, and then this is equal to F3 and F4 and F1. And then the issue here is that now we're basing this on F9. So what we have to do is at the top here we're going to start and we're going to drag down to the bottom. So as we drag this set of formulas down, we can now see we have period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4, period 5, period 6, period 7, period 8, period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4, period 5, period 6, period 7, and period 8. So and we can see that this is now updated with the correct information. Now here in our day, we're going to need to do the same thing. We're going to need to drag this down to make sure that our day numbers are updating too. So now we can see that our day numbers have updated. So day 1, day 1. So now we're looking at day 1, period 8. Day 2, period 7 is going to appear twice because we didn't change that back in our original sheet. So once you've dragged these 2 columns down and added in at the top, what you're going to need to do is go all the way down to the bottom of the sheet. And at the bottom of the sheet, because you've added an extra day, you're going to need to add in extra columns to support your entire school year. Now, if you're not wanting to do this for the entire school year, then you're probably going to want to delete the information at the bottom at the point that you want to stop. But if you're starting in September and you're going all the way through to June or July, then you are going to need to add in just by simply dragging. So there's a lot of data in here. You're going to want to take this last column here, having dragged your information all the way down. So you're going to need to drag day and period all the way down to the bottom of the sheet here. And then you're going to want to add in the extra maybe 200 rows by taking the entire thing here and dragging it down and adding it in. So as that copies down and across, the information that we're using is now going to get carried across into our export sheet. So in the lookup sheet here, if we now choose that we want to use a 7-period day because that's the day that we've edited, So we want to use a 7-period day. And remember, we can't use 9 days in a cycle now because we've taken some space out. So we're probably only going to be able to use 6 days in a cycle as a maximum. So we choose 6 days in a cycle, 7 periods. When we go to our export, what we're going to see is that we've got day 1 period 1, day 2 period 2, day 1 period 3, day 1 period 4, day 1 period 5, day 1 period 6, day 1 period 7, day 1 period 8. And you can see that the day 2 is now updated. And what we have to do is we have to make sure that our start dates are also going to be correct. So we're going to go back to our lookup. Sorry, not to our lookup, to our 7-period sheet. We're going to take start date. From the top. And we're just going to check that this is correct. So this is not correct. So it's saying day 1 period 8 is on a Tuesday. And the date is incorrect here. So what we're going to have to do is take this, and we're going to have to drag this column all the way down as well. So let's just take this down to the Wednesday here. So we can now see that this has put the right date in for Monday, the right date is in for Tuesday. Let's just need to go down one more. And we're going to need to do the same thing for end date. Now, it does take a long time to copy the formulas down. There's around 40,000 formulas in this sheet. And now we can see that we have the correct day, the correct date, and the correct day and period number. When we go to our export, that's going to be pulled in using Formule into your calendar. We can see now that we've got a day 1 period 1 and 8, and then our new day starts. Now our start times are not showing up because our start times currently aren't entered in here in our start table. Now because this only goes to period 7 here, we're going to have to add in a period 8, and making sure that that's not set as a date format. So it's just on a date. So we're going to go to format, number. We're going to choose normal. So now we have a regular date. And then what we need to do is we need to highlight our range. So including the 8, and then we're going to go to data, named and protected ranges. And we're going to look at times here. So we can see times here at the moment is A10 to C16. So A10 to C16. So we want to edit our time so it finishes at the point that our new highlighted range is at. So that's C17. So we're going to edit this so that it runs until C17. And then we simply just click done. So now our times range, when we click on times, highlights our times and our periods. So now everything should be set up, and you should now be able to use this for an 8-day period. It's always pertinent to check that in your export tab, that all the way down through your data, that your first day, your first couple of weeks is set up correctly. And then right down at the bottom, we're looking for it being set up correctly in terms of your last few days, and do they match your cycle days. Remember that if you have a holiday or a professional development day of some sort, you can enter those holidays or those professional development days over here. We can enter H's for holidays, and it will change our description to holiday. And if we have professional development days, we can add P's in. and it comes up with PED day. That's what we call professional development days. So these will then get carried in, and then your days will restart. Show you an example of that. So we'll put P in here. Being very slow. Okay, let's reload this page and see what happens. We can dismiss the message about the number of formulas. So now we can see that those PED days are highlighted there. We'll just add in the P, and our last P. And now we can see that it's identifying the first day on the Wednesday once this caches up. There have been some issues with Google Drive. So this now is going to identify this as day 1 period 2 because we haven't copied down a description formula because we didn't copy down a formula all the way down here. So now we can see that this is going to identify this once it calculates the formulas. It's going to identify this as day 1 period 1, day 1 period 2, day 1 period 3 because we haven't copied it down this far. But what it will do is it will skip those cycle days whenever you identify a holiday or a PED day. So when you set up your calendar at the start of the year, those professional development days, those holidays, you can automatically include those in the way that your cycle is calculated. And then when we come to export, the entries in your calendar, they will show up for each individual period, but instead of having a period number, they're going to say that it's a holiday or a professional development day.